Today I am going to change out the motherboard on my Commodore 64. The board in here works great, but when I first got this it was shorted out to the shield and I couldn't get it to turn on. I also didn't know that the power switch was bad. Power switch is still bad, but I've jumpered it, so I have to unplug it every time I want to turn it on and off. So what I've got here is the Commodore 64 Reloaded Mark II motherboard from Individual Computers. Commodore 64 Reloaded Mark II from Individual Computers. Paid a pretty penny for this thing, but it's pretty nice. It uses the key original chips that can't be reproduced or whatnot, and a little bit of FPGA for glue logic. Does the chips that like to fail and are easily just replaced. It still has a cartridge slot. Swaps out the RF modulator for S-video output and headphone jack, and then it's still got everything else. It's got the user port, cassette port, the normal video output, and the IEC. So let's also on the side for power, it runs off of just 12 volt in, 12 volt DC input. So I've got a 12 volt 2.5 amp power supply here, which it's going to run off of. Should do the job nicely. It didn't come with a power supply, but that's fine. It came from outside the US. Yeah, let's see. It actually came from Germany. There it is. I paid 155 euros for it, 186 after shipping or whatnot, PayPal fees and all that junk. So let's see. Got a nice bill of lading. That's my old address, so I don't mind putting that on TV. It's not me anymore. So I would like to put this in its own brand new case at some time. I actually like the 64C case better, but for now I want to be able to use my C64, and I've misplaced my video cable in the move. As I mentioned, I just changed my address, but yeah, for now I'll get this working. I'll have my original board. I don't have enough spare chips to make a second C64, so it's kind of pointless, but I would like to get a nice new case. I'd love to have a clear one, actually. Put some light inside of it and show off this nice main board. Okay, so what else do we have? Protovision, they make new games, so I'll have to check them out. I've been downloading a lot of the games that I play are modern releases, so new releases. User guide, so it tells us what we need to do. We need the CIA chip, we need the CPU chip, we need the VIC-2. It's got support for dual SIDs. We're going to put one SID in because that's all I got, and another CIA chip. Okay. So I believe the CIAs are one of those things that they'll fail fairly often, but maybe I'm thinking of something. Maybe I'm thinking of the PLA or something. But yeah, so everything's in ZIF sockets. So what I got to do is take mine apart. I actually forgot to put this on it after I did all the troubleshooting last time. As you can see, I have a power saver because I'm still using the original power brick, and I just wanted to be sure I didn't fry everything inside when it dies. This is the BackBit cartridge. I've done a video on this before. It's really awesome. Little reset button takes you back to the menu. SD card has all your ROMs. This thing will load off. This thing will load tape files, floppy files, ROM files, and it does it like that, just so fast because it's going straight into memory through the cartridge slot. And it's actually rather compatible. There's a few things that don't work, but they can be patched. So it's really neat. So I have serial number P5381723, so that's a really high serial number. This is a pretty late model one. Obviously it's late model because it doesn't have the sticker in the right spot. It got too big later in the years. So this case is in really good condition. I bought this thing from Goodwill's auction website online. It was $77. I think it was about 86 shipped. It really wasn't a bad deal at all. So It came in its original box, original power supply in there. The RF modulator box was in there. Or I guess it's the switch box for the RF modulator. Anyways, so let's pop this open. There we go. Terrible noises, but yeah. Undo the keyboard here. There's the keyboard and the LED light. I love how they put these things on there. Keyboard works great. Case is actually scuffed up a little bit by me. I need to clean this off a little bit. I think it was actually in better shape before. I don't know what I did that caused that. And I spent a lot of time soldering and desoldering things on this board. In fact, I'll show you one of the tricks that I did on it. I was going to shoot a video of, troubleshooting the board, but it became such a long drawn out deal. Obviously, I bought that halfway through because I thought I couldn't fix it, but I did. Was actually, I cut off the shield on the bottom, and that caused it to short. So it couldn't power up. The 5-volt would get shorted to ground. And I think I actually caused that. The original problem was that the power switch was bad. But, shh. So let's get all these screws out of here. Kept the shield on the top to act as a heat sink. In fact, I'm going to be short a couple of heat sinks now, so I'm going to have to conjure up something for heat sinks before I close this thing up. Otherwise, all this stuff's going to get way too hot. There we go. Come on out of there. And, oh, there's one more. Sorry for the bad lighting. Everything's probably a little yellow because it's just not light enough in here. As I said, I just moved. I haven't set up lighting yet. There we go. Alright, that's all the screws on the motherboard. So, lift my old board out of here. Like I said, this thing works great. And let's see if I can get a zoom in on this. So you can see I removed all of the capacitors. I did that during my troubleshooting, but I replaced them with SMD surface mount capacitors, 0805s. So, they just work better. They don't have the leads to bend and break and cause the ceramic to crack. And they fit. I mean, I had no problem putting those on there. So, yeah, lots of capacitors got replaced. I didn't do the electrolytics, but that's not going to be an issue now. I'm just going to, put this in a static bag and put it in the closet, and it can stay safe while I use a new board. That fits in there really well. I can actually screw it in first. Let's see, we've got. Doesn't really fit in this this older case. Yeah. I'm only going to have the front screws in it because the back screws don't have anything to screw in on this case. That's okay. I'll save the old screws and keep them for when I need them in the future. Let's get this screwed in because I can always put the chips in the zip sockets afterwards. It'd be nice having a toggle switch on this thing, that a power switch, because I haven't had one in a while. Oops. Okay, let's get all these started in here. I feel like these screws might be too long with just a circuit board now. We'll see. I don't want that one. There we go. Still got a fair number of screws, but I mean, there's also cartridge slots. Yeah, they're way the hell too long now. Jeez. That's why we can't have nice things. Okay, so the board's going to wiggle around a little bit because I can't screw it in properly. Because the screws are too long. I'm not sure exactly what this USB port is for. It's probably for reprogramming the FPGA. Single chip for RAM here. Not sure what this is. One thing about 1900 200 baud 8N1 to log in, press space to redisplay menu. So I guess that's probably what that port isn't talking about. They're talking about that for that port. So we got LED here. We got the keyboard is right here. So I just have to figure out which one of these are my proper CIA chips and stuff. I think that these 6526s are my CAAs from 1984. This thing had MT RAM in it, so really this thing could have died at any time. In fact, I desoldered several of these RAM chips. So yeah, MT RAM is unreliable as. And this, I think this might be my SID chip. Or this one is. Oh, 6581. Yeah, so that's my SID chip. Which SID does this thing want? SID. Upon first connection, driver for... Okay, so, yeah, it's talking about the USB port. Upon first connection, a driver for a virtual serial port will be installed. Connect to this port using terminal emulation program. It doesn't tell me what I'm going to do there. Second SID. It's got a picture of both types of SID, 6581 and 8580, but it doesn't tell me what's going on with that. I do know which one's my VIC chip, so I can move that first. It says you can use a 6510 or an 8500 for a CPU. Okay, here's got the information. To operate the 664, you need the following parts: the CPU. No, I can find my CPU too. I think it's this one here. Yeah, 6510. Cool. So, just set this here. You know what? I'm wearing a wrist strap and I haven't even hooked up to it before I pull any chips. I got it grounded to my stove because it's like the only ground I got handy. Okay. So, before I do that, I need to get a little screwdriver so I can get those out. You know what? I'm going to do it rich rebuild style. We're just going to use a butter knife. If you're into cars at all, you know what Rich Rebuilds is, but he's got a YouTube channel on YouTube here where he rebuilt a Tesla using a kitchen knife, supposedly. He's quite the character. Okay, so there's the CPU. There's single swipe sockets, so everything just pops out really easy. CPU, okay. So the number one's going to go towards the top. It's the right size socket. Swing that downward, and we are locked in. It's not perfectly centered side to side, but yeah. Alright, next up, I'm going to try to do the VIC chip. Where'd my butter knife go? Oh, there we go. VIC chip is awesome, or VIC chip is quite apparent which one is the VIC chip. This board's great because, you know, you can see everything is socketed from the factory on this board. So that saves a lot of work. Being a late model C64. Whoop. Boy, that just pops right out of there. Another single swipe socket. VIC2. I'm not freaking hooked up. Why am I? This is why I can't have nice things. At least I got to it before I did the SID chip. But I don't want to fry a VIC2 either. So there's the VIC2 in place. And I lose my ground. Alright, okay. Now, this thing had a list of what chip was what. VIC chip 2 CIA, 6526, 6526. Okay, I got a pair of those. And they're both the same. Just one of them gets used for one thing and the other gets used for another thing. So yeah, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is partly to preserve this board. Obviously that RAM's going to go bad at any moment, so I want to get it out of the equation as soon as possible. And I can just set that board aside and have it safe and preserved. And the other reason is, in my move I lost the video cable, so this one has S-video output. I got plenty of S-video cables, so it'll be a lot easier to hook it up to my television. Alright. Set that there. Okay, the watch isn't going to show you. SID chip. SID chip is the, yeah, I know which one's the SID chip. 6581. 6581. Oh, I did miss two. Oh, these are slightly different ceramic capacitors, but yeah. Okay, my precious. There we go. Properly grounded right now. SID number 1. Would be really cool to have 2 SIDs in here. There we go, 1 SID. I'll put that lever down so it's out of the way. And we're done. I'll plug the keyboard in and off we go. It's really simple. Okay. Luckily the keyboard connector is keyed. Well, my ground came off again, but I'm okay at this point. And the LED. I don't know if that's going to reach. Boy, is that that's a big ask. So, as you can see, my keyboard connectors are not broken. It's rather amazing. Yeah, there's no way that keyboard is, or that power LED is going to work. Oops, yeah, keyboard was holding me down. Anyways, there's not a whole lot I can do here. I don't think I can get this. Yeah, this is going to stay on. And I don't think that would give me the extra distance I need anyways. It's such a small difference. Yeah, I'm like halfway there. Yeah, it's a bummer. Okay, so I'll just leave that unplugged for now. That's not ideal, but it's what I gotta do. So, keyboard reaches, that's the important thing. Don't break it. Oh, and I forgot to put this back. Drat. I wanted to have this back on this time. Okay, we'll take it back out real quick. Let's fix my ground. Got another corner of the stove I can put it on. There we go. Lift that lever to get this screw out. Alright, so I want to put you back on. I lost the original screws, but it's not going to be a big deal. It looks like I can just use normal computer screws on that, so I'm going to go get some of those real quick. There we go. Okay, they won't even look too much like normal computer screws. They're fairly modern ones. Come on. Oops. It's in between sizes. I could probably use a Phillips number 1 on this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, here's that one and this one. These are just fine thread PC screws, like you'd use on a CD-ROM drive or an old floppy drive or something. There we go. Now, back to screwing it down. Ideally, I should put some washers under these screws and they could hold down the board without, you know, punching through the bottom. have any screw or washers handy, so it is what it is. I'll come back and fix that later on. Alright, now, final assembly. Put the keyboard back again. Keyboard, the power light won't be working, but so be it. On the back, got the 2 ports. One of these is the user port, one of them is the tape port. We got the IEC, the video, S-video, audio, and the cartridge port. So it's going to work quite nicely. Screw this thing back together now. Nipple there and a nipple. Yeah, you can see all the spots where I ran the screws too deep. There's little nipples all over this case. Oh well. Or those are factory cast in there. I mean, they're all perfect. Yeah. Maybe I didn't run them too deep. Okay. Anyways. So let's put the cartridge back in. I might swap out that for my dead test cartridge. Run that first power up. As you do. Anyways, let's get this over to the TV. Actually, oh, I undid my ground strap again. Anyways, so I have this brand new Monster S-Vid cable. Turns out Monster went out of business because I tried to type in their URL. Yeah. That's fine. Monster was a pretty dirty company that like to sue people a lot and overcharged, overhyped. But yeah, I think this is like a 10-foot S-video cable. Should be more than enough for what I need. So yeah, nice gold plated. You know, it's Monster. They think they're the best. So they're gonna give you some gold plating. Go. That plugs in just fine right there, and then I can do this is perfect for the audio jack where the channel selector used to be, but I can do just normal computer speakers, or I can just do a headphone to RCA connector right there. That'll do that great. And so break my kitchen. Alright. I still don't have heat sinks on those chips, so I'm going to be pulling it back apart. I'm not going to run it for very long, so probably have to order some heat sinks. I don't really have anything unless I take a hacksaw to some bigger heat sinks. We'll see. For now, it's up. I'll put this somewhere safe inside of a static bag along with the screws and its original heat shield. Yeah, you can see I didn't use a lot of these chips. There's a lot that got left behind. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hey. Yeah, let's plug in a joystick. Generally you're not supposed to do this while it's on, but whatever. We want control port 2. Oops. There we go. Let's go with Donkey Kong Arcade because it's got the good music at the beginning. Alright, it works. Not the fastest thing in the world, but left for one. Okay, one player. Okay, so if that works, you're not going to watch me lose at this game. Menu. We got Mario Brothers. Oh, that's Ghostbusters. I got a different copy that is Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers, there we go. Start game. No triple available, one SID. A little bit of loading time, and off we go. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cat, you're kind of in my way. Come on, cat, I can't see anything. I was very interested in that TV screen, but the cat approves. Oh, yeah. See ya, kitty. Okay, so out of here. Let's see, I've got a couple of different Tetrises. Let's see. Major Blink. Ghostbusters. Fix It Felix is pretty awesome. Basic Tetris. Okay, this is the one by David Murray. Yeah. Oh, is this Joystick Port 1? No, it's not. Oh, there's the buttons. Okay. Yeah. It's a shame you couldn't use the I should have dropped it. Okay. And Z rotates. Anyways, so that's that one. Let's check out the BackBit intro. It's got some music and stuff. This is the one that came with, or recommended for this cartridge. I don't know if it came with it because I don't think it came with a card, but okay. Yes, there we go. A little bit of artwork. So that's that, guys. I think I've got one of these. It's a tape. Is it cartridge program? I think those are basic programs. PRG, Disk 64, T64. I think that's a tape. The first time I tried to demo this BackBit, it didn't. I don't think I had the right firmware on it, or something. But yeah, it works really well now. Yeah, I could let that music play longer, but I don't want to. Unstop quits. There we go. Ghostbusters. This is a cracked version, so. Keep the watch from falling off. Energy, sure. Mighty good job of doing this in SID. Karaoke mode. F3 to start. Okay. Anyways, that's enough of that. Thanks for watching. It was a bit extended on the motherboard swap, but everybody likes to watch the C64 run a little bit. Hopefully the flicker from the TV wasn't too bad. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll do more stuff in the future.